Fire! You're all right.
They started the fire.
I know, you're all right now.
Jim! They killed Jim!
Oh, I'm sorry.
Baby, she's still in the house.
Oh, God.
My baby! No! No! Let my baby out there! No! Let me get my baby! My baby! No! Let me get my baby! Let me go! Let me get my baby! Let me go! No! Let me go! My baby's in there! Let me go! No! Let me go!
How can we ever thank you?
That won't be necessary, ma'am. I don't... Victoria?
David? David Wincup. Oh, David. Oh.
How is she?
Well, it will take a little time.
They got a place to stay for tonight.
She has a sister in town. I'll take her there. I can't get over it, David. Meeting you like this after all these years.
Neither can I.
Time has touched you lightly.
And you. You're still the most beautiful woman I ever saw.
Thank you. Tell me, David, what have you been doing all these years?
Oh, nothing very much. Drifting mostly since the war.
Drifting? But you had so many plans.
They went astray, Victoria. Somewhere marched in the mud of the Confederate Army. They went astray.
I'm sorry, David.
Excuse me. I want to thank you for saving little Becky. It was a brave thing to do, and we're all mighty grateful.
Oh, no thanks necessary. Glad to be able to do it.
This is David Wincup.
Oh, I thought so. I'm Will Briggs, head of the Ranchers Committee.
Oh, yeah. Glad to meet you, Mr. Briggs.
You made good time. Must have been pretty steady.
I did.
Now you know why we got in touch with you. O'Toole's men have been hitting us pretty hard ever since our men left on the trail drive.
You got in touch with him?
Well, don't you remember? The committee voted to hire professional gunmen.
I know, but...
Oh, we did. Him and his men. Wired him 3 days ago.
Oh. I didn't realize. Well, I'm sure you have things to talk over.
Well, when are your men coming?
The 25 top gunmen here by this time tomorrow.
Good. That'll pay down the odds. Same money we mentioned in the wire?
$6 a day, food and ammunition for the men. $10 a day for me.
Fine. I'll go and tell the committee.
Oh, Mr. Briggs. One little point we didn't settle, the telegrams. I must be in full charge, no questions asked.
Okay. Sure.
What's the matter, Victoria? Something wrong?
Somehow the role of a gunman doesn't fit my memory of you.
Well, we prefer to think of ourselves as protectors.
Hired guns don't make distinctions, David. They just kill.
Weren't you one of those who voted to hire us?
No, I voted against it. I hoped there would be another choice.
The soldiers are hired guns, Victoria. They're hired to fight for people. Isn't that what you want us to do?
It's not the same thing. Soldiers fight for what they believe in.
I believe in those ashes out there. I'm here to see there won't be any more of them. For the moment, that's all the philosophy either you or I can afford.
Mother, I expected you home from the church meeting hours ago. I've been so worried.
I know, I'm sorry.
For your clothes, what happened?
Juan O'Toole's marauders attacked Jim Dunn's place tonight. They set fire to it.
Was anybody hurt? How's the baby?
All right, Martha, too.
And Jim?
They hung him.
Hung him?
Jim's place tonight. Crawford's 2 days ago. And the Bowen place last week.
It doesn't seem real. When O'Toole was raiding near Warren Springs and killing all those people, I thought how awful, but I was grateful we lived here. I never thought he'd dare attack so close to a big city like Stockton.
Well, the valley's too rich. O'Toole would never bypass it.
Mother, you look so exhausted. Why don't you go to bed? I'll take him in his stall.
No, it's all right. I'll let me take a few minutes. Come on, son. Oh, boy.
Mother, Tasciano kicked over his grain barrel again.
Oh, now we'll get it out of the way.
You know, I'm glad now the committee voted to hire those gunmen. At least if there's another attack, we'll have some protection.
They'll be here in a few days, 25 of them. And a few will be posted at each ranch.
I know you were against hiring me.
Oh, maybe it's a good idea, Audra. I don't know. I just don't know. But at least I do know the man in charge. David Wincup. He arrived tonight.
David Wincup. Well, I've heard you mention him. Wasn't he an old beau?
Yes. Yes, he was. David?
Victoria. Forgive my stern, Victoria, but I was way back when I took you to the governor's lawn party.
I had the same feeling. David, this is my daughter, Audra.
Please, Miss Audra.
I'm sorry the boys aren't here. They're on the trail drive.
Mother told me what you did at the fire last night. How can we ever thank you?
Been asked to lunch in such lovely company is more than ample thanks.
I know you two must have so much to talk about. I hope I won't be interrupting.
Unfortunately, the interruption took place 30 years ago, and it wasn't nearly as pretty as you were.
As I recall, it was a leaky old whaler named Seagull, and you signed on to make your fortune in ambergris.
Ambergris?
They get it from whales, use it to make perfumes.
And did you find any?
Well, as your mother says, the Seagull was leaky. She took on a cargo of water in the North Atlantic, and that was the end of that.
Sherry or whiskey, David?
Whiskey.
Ambergris and whalers. You must have been one of Mother's most dashing suitors.
Oh, he was. And he never did anything in the usual way. The first time I saw him, he was defending 2 Chinese miners against a bunch of drifters.
And getting the beating of my life. Till the sheriff came along and arrested me for inciting a riot. Lost causes were my specialty.
That's one of the things I like best about you.
Major? Horn, I was expecting you. This is my assistant, Mr. Horn. There's Mrs. Barkley and her daughter, Audra. Any of the boys here yet?
Yeah, I rode down with Jack and Tolly. They're right outside.
Found a place for them?
Yeah, plenty of room in the bunkhouse.
How about the ranch hands?
Well, there's only an old man. I moved him into the barn.
Good. Tell Jack and Tolly to come in.
What did he mean, moved him into the barn?
Well, I hope you don't mind, Victoria. Your ranch is the best location. I have to take it over as headquarters. I should have mentioned it, but I didn't have an opportunity. Emergencies don't leave much time for the little courtesies.
Howdy, Major.
Hello, Jack. Tolly, how's the scalp business?
Tolerable, Major, tolerable.
These are 2 of my best men. This is Mrs. Barkley and her daughter, Audra. We have some planning to do, Victoria. Where can we talk privately?
You may use the library. It's straight ahead and to the right.
Thank you. Come on, boys.
Comanche.
I never thought they'd be like that.
I don't think anyone did.
Jack. There's a dress shop. Wouldn't you want to get that little Mexican gal of yours a present?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go. Come on, old Doctor.
Good morning, gentlemen. Is there something I can do for you?
Yeah, one about a dress. Something fancy.
For what sort of occasion?
Wingding.
Well, I have some new bolts of satin that just came in from the east.
Satin?
The colors are lovely.
Okay, let's see 'em.
Is the young lady dark or fair?
Dark. Lots of fire.
I see. Well, this blue flat is almost any complexion.
I ain't bright enough. I want something that'll make the whole saloon sit up and take notice.
Hey, Jack, look at this. Pretty? That little gal look good in yellow, huh?
Yeah, that's it. Hey, can't you just see her in this, man? All that black hair flying in those red lips.
I'm sorry, that dress was made for someone else, a special order.
How much?
I can't, it's impossible. The customer wants to wear it tonight.
So make her another one.
It's not for sale, I tell you.
How much?
Please. She's only 18. It's for her engagement party.
She got dark hair? Good, it'll look a lot better on my gal then.
Wasn't that Elsie Gordon's engagement dress?
I didn't want to sell it to them, but they made me.
Made you?
I don't know what to say to Elsie.
I'll tell the sheriff.
No, Victoria, please. I'd rather let it go. I'm all alone here, you know, and they're so rough.
I understand.
Oh, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was an accident. Here, let me clean it up for you. There.
Give me that. Now, don't make no more accidents.
Yes, sir. I mean, no, sir.
Hey, Barbara, what is this stuff?
It's an astringent, straight from Paris. Very expensive. Yep, hey. Oh, it's just a little nick. I'll clean it up. Nothing to worry about. There you are.
Smells like whiskey to me. What do you use it for?
You put it on after you shave.
Yeah? Ah! That stuff's really something, isn't it?
There you are.
Come on, Charlie, let's go.
That'll be 50 cents.
50 cents.
Uh-huh.
That's about enough for 2 shaves. Don't you think so, Tolly?
Well, it is a little bit steep, but he does deserve something.
Yeah. Especially after he cut me up the way he did.
It was an accident. I told him that.
Well, as long as he's charging me for 2 shaves, how about giving him 1?
Well, that seems like a fair idea to me. Hand me that razor over here, Jack.
Wait a minute, fellas, please. You see, it's getting late, and I've got to close up.
Come over here and
I've
sit down and
I've
make
got to get
yourself
out of here,
comfortable.
fellas. You don't understand. You see, I'm a very important man in this town, and there's a big meeting tonight, and I don't want you to do anything that you're going to be sorry for. So please, fellas, don't do this. Please, fellas, don't do this. Don't. Don't, but... No, please, no. Oh.
Now that's a 50-cent shave.
And we ain't even gonna charge you a cent.
Good afternoon, Victoria.
Hello, David.
I saw you leave the house, so I took the liberty of following. You shouldn't go out alone. O'Toole's men could be anywhere.
Well, it never occurred to me. I suppose they could.
They're watching us right now. Look.
Oh, yes, mirror signals.
O'Toole used his own code. It's very effective. Over there. He's got a man in every strategic ridge the way to move in this valley escapes him.
It's difficult to think of familiar places as dangerous.
You heading someplace, want me to escort you?
No, I just came up here to think, to try and see things more clearly.
Well, what do you want to see more clearly?
You. I don't know if you're the man I remember, or just a stranger with a gun.
Don't seem to have much faith in either.
It's hard to have faith in something you're afraid of. David, your men have terrorized this whole town.
What do you mean, terrorize? As far as I know, there's been some horseplay, but no real trouble.
Well, what do you call shooting up a town, buying a dress that doesn't belong to you, pushing people off the street?
Now, look, Victoria, these men ain't disciplined soldiers. You can't expect them to act like it. You handle them lightly or not at all.
Handle them lightly? While they strip people of their dignity and flout the law? Don't you mean give them special privileges?
What you call special privilege is just them letting off steam. I ain't making excuses. They're ruthless men. They live violently and die that way. But you can't fight marauders with a band of angels. Not and get the job done.
Is that what you've become, David? A man who gets the job done? No matter what else happens on the way?
Things might have been different. Audrey and those sons you raised might have been mine. Wish things were different, Victoria. If you can't believe anything else, you can believe that.
Where you going, honey?
Home.
Awful early, ain't it? Why don't you let us buy you a drink?
Gotta cook supper for my little girl. She's waiting.
Well, now, a pretty little gal like you ought to be dancing, not cooking.
Yeah, we'll buy you supper, honey.
Oh, I can't. My kid's waiting, I tell you.
Let her wait.
Yeah.
Oh, leave me alone.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh.
Turn the lady loose. You stay out of this, Pop.
Turn her loose and I'll call the sheriff.
Now, how about that drink?
I don't care what the charges are, Sheriff. They've got to be dropped.
Dropped. After smashing that window, to say nothing of the beating Carson took.
The ranchers committee will take care of all the damages, Frank. And the doctor bills, too. Won't cost him a penny.
What about the girl? You going to pay her for being scared half to death?
Oh, come on, Sheriff. The girl was hardly touched. As a saloon hostess, I'm sure she's received rougher treatment.
Maybe so. But she's still entitled to protection.
I imagine she'll find $20 or so adequate protection.
Wincup's right, Frank. Saloon job doesn't pay much. The girl would welcome the money and forget the whole thing.
Well, maybe she would, but I wouldn't. I'm paid to protect this town, not collect bribes.
My men are paid to protect the ranchers. They can't do it from jail.
They sure can't. And if our families are killed because of it, it'll be on your head, Frank.
All right. Pay the damages and I'll let him go. But I never knew right to come out of wrong.
Excuse me.
Want to pass some time?
Why not?
What do you got in mind?
Come on. What's your name, old man?
Jeff.
After Jeff Davis?
No, sir. Just after me.
Where are you from, Jeff?
I was born in Kentucky.
Kentucky. You hear that, fellas? He's from Kentucky.
Well, now, anybody from Kentucky ought to be able to play a harmonica real good.
No, sir. Don't play anything.
Don't play anything. Are you spoofing me? Now, everybody from Kentucky plays something.
I don't play anything.
Oh, I can't hardly believe that. I'll tell you what, Tolly's got a harmonica. Why don't you try and play it?
Mrs. Barkley's waiting for her horse to be saddled.
Give him the harmonica, Tolly.
Play.
Faster. Faster. Dance. Dance.
Let him go.
Thanks, Mrs. Barkley.
We was just funning, ma'am.
You're the poorest excuse for a human being I've ever seen.
You figure you're gonna like them marauders any better, ma'am?
Is there a difference?
Tashiano, you're the most beautiful colt in the whole valley. And you're going to win a blue ribbon this year at the county fair, too. Mother, look at him. He's standing here just like a lamb and he isn't even tied.
You'd never know he was unbroken.
By the time Nick gets home, I'll be able to show him halter class. Won't he be surprised? What is it?
Oh, this morning I caught some of David's men bullying poor old Jeff.
Why doesn't Mr. Wynkoop do something about it?
Apparently, he still doesn't think it's necessary.
Or doesn't care.
Somehow, we've just got to get word to your brothers.
But how? They must be 100 miles from here.
I don't know. We sure do need them.
They're signaling again. I almost wish they'd attack and get it over with.
I just sent a wire to the boys to send the herd on with a skeleton crew and get back here as quickly as possible.
A wire? But I thought they were on the trail with the herd.
They are, but they'll stop in Brownsville for supplies.
Well, when will they get there?
In a couple of days.
Brownsville. I hope they hurry.
Can't wait to get to Brownsville and cut some of this dust off.
Well, I figured you'd be pretty used to it. You got enough dust in all those law books of yours.
Oh, is that so?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Brother Nick, maybe you'd like to negotiate the contract for this herd.
No. I find my spelling pretty dusty, too.
That's what I thought.
Well.
We've just about given you up.
You must have scouted clear to Nevada.
Oh, how damn so dry like a spit cotton.
What happened to your canteen?
Well, the horse got the last of it this morning. You know there's not a drop of water between here and Brownsville?
Well, now, there are 3 streams. They can't all be dry.
Well, they are.
Well, it's nearly 40 miles to Brownsville. Without water, that herd can't make it.
Well, I met an old prospector. He said there's a big water hole 20 miles east of here.
20 miles east. Do you know it, Nick?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Not much grazing along the way. That's why most drives don't use it.
Well, we could cut through the pass there. Forget Brownsville.
That run is pretty short on supplies.
Well, it's better to be short on supplies and have a dry herd. We'll forget Brownsville.
All right, it's settled.
Forget Brownsville?
Too bad about that little dancer waiting for him there, isn't it?
Well, she'll just have to make do the next time I come through is all.
That's cattle business.
Hang on. Don't let her rest. You look like you've been in a fight. What happened?
We was scouting them riders, like you said. A bunch of O'Toole's men jumped us. They killed Tolly before we could get away.
You should have been on the lookout.
We was. That's how come they got Tolly. He was riding on up ahead, and all of a sudden there was about 10 of them all around him. They come at us so fast we didn't hardly have time to draw.
Better get that hand taken care of.
What do you think you're doing? Let that horse go! I said let him go! Tarzan's a gift from my brothers, and you've no right to touch him. Easy, boy. Easy. That's a good boy. Good boy, yeah.
Wait a minute, Audra. Where you taking him?
Back to his stall where he belongs.
I'm sorry we're breaking the best stock for Remount. He's the prize of the lot.
Remount? He's never even had a blanket on his back.
Maybe not, but he'll be broken by sunset.
Well, you can't do that. This horse is blooded stock. He has to be broken slowly or you'll ruin his spirit.
I don't care about spirit. I only care about speed.
I'm not going to let you do it.
I'm afraid you got no choice about that. Go ahead.
There
are plenty of good horses on this ranch without taking orders.
Now, I need fresh horses, Victoria. Fast horses, so my men can move quickly if O'Toole strikes.
One horse is not going to stop O'Toole.
Let me be the judge of that.
Audra has raised that horse since it was a colt. She and Nick nursed it through the colic. Why, she's been working for months with it, training it, working it free so she can exhibit it at fairs. Don't you understand?
No, I don't understand. I think you're letting sentiment interfere with your judgment.
Well, I happen to believe that sentiment is part of that judgment, and once you believed it, too.
The moment I got here, you disagreed with everything I've done. Which is the more important to you? Few minor sacrifices or the destruction of everything you've built up?
Are you sure you and your men aren't trying to destroy everything I've built up? Maybe not in the same way, but just as completely.
I've found you can be sure of very few things in this life, Victoria. But if O'Toole comes riding down from those hills, he brings death with him. You can be sure of that.
No. No more lost causes, huh, David?
I learned at prison camp that causes, lost or otherwise, are for fools.
Well, it seems I've been putting my faith in something that doesn't exist anymore, an empty image.
I'm sorry you feel that way. Nevertheless, I'll get the job done.
Oh, I'm sure you will, David. I'm sure you will. But don't expect me to admire you for it. I liked you better as a fool.
Victoria, since that horse seems to mean so much to you and Audra, you can have it back.
Well, what did they say?
The wire came back. They didn't stop at Brownsville. They must have taken a different route. You!
You have only 3 men watching my ranch. Now, can I get more protection than that?
Our patrol's out day and night. If there's trouble, you'll get more protection.
There are mirrored flashes within half a mile of my place. O'Toole is getting closer. I tell you, Winthrop.
We caught one of O'Toole's men coming out of the saloon. Jack recognized him off a poster.
Where is he?
Down the corral.
All right, get him down. Looks like he gave you some trouble.
Yeah, at first.
Who is he?
One of O'Toole's men. Horn and Jack caught him coming out of the saloon.
I'll send Jeff for the sheriff.
Not yet. I want to question him first. If we can find where O'Toole's camp is, may be able to surprise him before he strikes again.
Why can't the sheriff question him?
Because I prefer to do it myself.
I'm on my way to Sonora, I tell you. I don't know nothing.
Don't you? What's your name?
Brady.
Your real name?
That's it. Brady. Bill.
How's your name Brady if the name on the belt buckle says J.D.?
That's Jim's. Martha gave it to him.
You got that buckle when you helped string Jim Dunn up and burn his cabin down, didn't you?
No.
Didn't you?
No. No.
You lied.
No. I bought it. I bought it.
Where's one O'Toole?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Where is he?
Please, I don't know. They just split up. I was just passing through, taking a shortcut to Sonora.
All right. We'll drag it out of you. Mount up.
No, no, please. Please, I can't tell you. Please, I can't tell you. You got no right to do this. Please, you got no right.
David!
I suggest you and Audra go into the house.
Well, surely you're not going through with this torture.
It's the only way to get the information.
Will, are you going to let this happen?
Go ahead, Horn. right, cut him loose and bring him here.
He's dead, Major.
Oh.
You wanted to talk to me, Victoria.
Yes, David, I do. I know it's late, but I have something to say to you, something important. As you know, I've never believed in vigilante justice.
We don't believe in her either. But we gotta have protection.
I know, and I'm just as afraid of O'Toole as the rest of you. But I'm more afraid of what is happening to us.
What are you driving at, Victoria?
These past weeks, we've seen our neighbors bullied, our laws defied. We've even seen a man murdered.
Now, hold down, Victoria. Murder's a pretty hard word.
Is it? What else would you call it?
Well, after all, he was guilty.
Perhaps. But it wasn't up to us to decide. And a few weeks ago, we wouldn't have let it happen. No matter who he was or what he did, we would not have let it happen. Don't you see, we've been so anxious to save ourselves that we've given up everything that we've ever believed in. Now, I can't answer for the rest of you. But as far as I'm concerned, I can't go on. I'd rather face the enemy out there in those hills than the one here inside of us. This is my share of the money. I want you and your men off my ranch by tomorrow morning.
Victoria, don't be a fool. You've seen the signals. O'Toole's men are everywhere. When they see my men leaving, you won't have a chance.
Perhaps not. But I prefer that way of dying.
What about your daughter? You want her to die, too?
I don't think we're going to die, Major Wincup. But if I'm wrong, I prefer Mother's way.
Then you're both fools.
Just a minute, Wincup. We're all with you, Victoria. You got enough money in there to pay them off?
You bet I have.
Minute we pull out, O'Toole's man up on that ridge is going to start flashing that mirror.
We'll take our chances.
I don't think you have a chance. I'll try to get you some more time. As soon as it's light, I'll try to knock out that mirror.
I thought you didn't believe in lost causes.
I don't. But I believe in earning my pay. All right, mister. Drop the mirror.
I would... Hello, Major.
Tolly.
Take it easy, Major. This was all Horn's idea. He told me to stay up here and just keep signaling.
Where's O'Toole's man?
We killed him the other day when we went on a scouting party.
Mount up. We're going back to the ranch.
Sure, Major. Sure.
We're about ready, Major. Where you been?
Talking to Tully.
Tolly?
He sent you this.
Well, now, we'd have told you, Major, but you've been acting kind of funny on this job.
Tell me now.
I know Toole's men left days ago. Things is getting too hot, so they figured to split up and lay low for a while.
How'd you find out?
Beat it out of that fellow we found up on the ridge. That's why those signals was beginning to stop.
So you thought you'd keep them going, so's the money keep coming in.
Well, like I said, you've been acting funny on this job.
That's right, Major, ever since you seen that Mrs. Barkley.
Keep Mrs. Barkley's name out of this.
Yeah, anyway, we figured you wouldn't go along with it.
You were right. Don't try it, Hall. You either. Give me those gun bells. And then you can give me that money I gave you.
What for?
Belongs to the ranchers. I'm sorry we didn't leave on time, Victoria. I discovered I still believed in lost causes.
David, the boys will be home in a few days. I wish you'd stay over and meet them.
I think I better be on my way. I'm glad we met again, Victoria.
So am I. And thank you for everything.
I'm the one that should be grateful. Bye, Audra.
Where will you be going?
Gone? To look for ambergris.
Do you think you'll find it?
The ambergris? Yes. Yes, this time I think he will.
Oh, I mean it, Carl. Now, how long you been supplying me with victuals and things on tick? Well, sir, you know what? Every cent I owe you, you're gonna be paid double.
So you think you really found it this time, huh, Wiley?
I know it. Why, you know, if I didn't have to come to you for supplies and things, I'd be tapped into that mountain of gold right now.
Well,
Isn't that right, Jenny?
good luck, Wiley.
Thank you.
You want something, Lud?
No, just looking.
I had a feeling that's what you had in mind. Now you... Hey, stop that, boy! Stop that! Stop that thief! Boy, you come back here, big boy! I'm gonna... Gotcha. Gotcha. He stole something. And it ain't the first time, neither.
A potato, Carl?
He's walking off with half my store. There. I'm taking you to the sheriff,
Now,
sonny.
wait a minute, Carl. I don't think this is a matter for the sheriff. Why don't you just leave him with me, and I'll take him home to his mother. And you can put these on my bill.
I don't need anyone standing up for me.
What do you say, Carl?
Well, all right, Heath. But you tell his ma, if he ever takes anything out of my store again, he's going to jail.
All right, Carl, all right. Well, as long as this grub's paid for, we may as well take it along. Let's go.
You ain't taking me anywhere.
I'm taking you to your mother's. Now, you can go the easy way, or you can go the hard way. Miss Akeling? Chucky? Cecilia? Where's your mother? Where's your brother and sis? Well, I guess wherever she went, she took Chucky and Cecilia with her. Guess we may as well go. Come on. Now, lad, you're staying with me until I talk to your mother. Now, come on.
Don't go! We're here too! Don't go!
Chucky!
I told you to stay put.
You was gonna leave us.
Chucky, where's your mother?
She went
Shut
away.
up!
Where'd she go?
Don't tell him nothing.
How many days has your mother been gone?
Shut up!
I didn't say nothing.
10 days, Chucky?
More than that. Only I ain't got enough fingers.
Where did she go?
Chucky.
I can't tell him that, 'cause I don't know. Led knows. Ma talked to him before she went away. I'm hungry.
Well, I bet you are, sweetheart. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to take you all home with me. How would you like a nice, tall glass of milk with some bacon and eggs?
I like ham better.
Well, then ham it is.
With hotcakes?
A stack of them, oozing with melted butter and hot maple syrup.
Tell him you don't want any. It'd probably poison you if you took it anyway.
I'm hungry, Lud.
Well, Lud's big enough to take care of himself. But you two got to have somebody look after you, see that you get fed. Come along.
You come too, Lud. You got to. You promised you wouldn't leave us. You promised Ma. You promised Ma.
Remember when you lived here, Chucky?
Yeah, I was a little bitty kid then.
You and Cecilia were born here.
Lud too? Lud too?
No, he was already born when your father came to work for us. What's the matter, lad? Why aren't you eating?
Maybe he doesn't like ham and potato salad.
Well, he's crazier than I am about ham and potato salad.
Maybe he isn't hungry.
He's hungrier than I am, too. He's been giving his share to Celia and me.
Aren't you feeling well, lad?
Audra, let's check on the children's rooms. I'll be back in a minute.
You're eating.
I'm hungry.
Well, you don't have to eat it like you like it.
But I do, Lud. It's awful good. You should eat yours.
I don't want nothing from these people.
I can't understand why Muriel went away and left those children.
I can make a guess. We got tired of them and ditched them.
Well, why wouldn't Lud tell us that?
Probably too ashamed.
No, Nick, no. Muriel was a good wife to Bud and a wonderful mother. No, if she went away, she had a very good reason. Heath? Well, I see Chucky and Cecilia have finished eating.
I got a tummy ache.
Oh,
I told you it'd poison you.
well, at least we know you can talk. All right, now it's time for your bath.
Not me.
Me neither. Me neither.
Well, they're awful feisty now that they got their bellies full.
I'll bet you kids never took a bath in a bathtub that came all the way from St. Louis.
St. Louis?
Uh-huh.
We don't need a bath.
Me neither.
Oh, come on.
Looks like we got mutiny on our hands.
Help, Lud! Help! Don't let her drown!
Oh, I'm not going to drown you. I'm only going to give you a bath.
Come in, lad. Or would you rather go as a 6-year-old?
Imagine finding nightshirts with this good.
Oh, I saved some of your things.
Audrey, you promised to read to us.
Okay. Darling, I'd love to let you play with it, but it's very precious to me and very valuable. Well, who's this handsome young man?
It's Lud.
I never would have recognized you. Come with me, Lud.
Come on, lad.
Lud, I can't let you go to bed without eating. Yeah.
Sure looks good to me.
Now, I know you're hungry. Why won't you eat? Well, you're not hurting any of us when you refuse, but later on, when you're lying upstairs in bed, you're going to be very... Oh.
Has he always acted like that?
No. No, he used to like it here. At least he seemed to. You see, Nick gave Bud Akeley a job, and he and Muriel used to live in the cottage behind the corral. Before that, they had had a very hard time of it. But they were happy here, especially Lud.
Well, what happened to Bud Akeley?
Oh, he caught pneumonia around Christmas time 2 years ago and died 4 days later. Muriel wouldn't stay here. She said she wouldn't accept charity, so they moved back to town, and she started in as a dressmaker.
Well, maybe Lud takes after his ma. Nothing pinching him but his pride.
No. No, it's more than that. It's more like anger. And the trouble is, it hasn't even started to explode yet.
he's clean as a pin.
Well, Lud, I see they put you to work.
Yeah, it was all his idea. Been working his head off since early this morning.
Good. Glad to hear it. Can I, see you boys outside a minute?
All right. Okay. Find anything out about his mother?
No. Seems Muriel didn't tell anybody where she was going.
You know, Chucky says she told Lud. We could get him to talk.
Come on, come on.
Where are we going?
Hush up. Get in. Here we go. Get in. Get in. Don't you move.
What's that?
That's food. It's enough for 3 or 4 days. I've been taking it from the house a little bit at a time so it wouldn't be missed.
Where are you taking us?
Hush up.
Why won't you tell us where we're going?
Because you're a blabbermouth.
You're a blabbermouth. Honest, I won't tell anybody.
You don't need to know. You'll find out when we get there.
Chucky, Cecilia? Time for lunch. Chucky, Cecilia? All right, I give up. I can't find you. Come on out. We'll play hide and go seek later after lunch. Chucky, Cecilia? Lud.
Which way do we go now?
Hush up.
He won't tell us because he don't know. He don't know.
I said hush up.
You take the right, I'll take the left. East. They're over here. What do you think you're gonna do with that whip, boy? You better put it down before you get yourself in a lot of trouble. Put the whip down. I said put the whip down. Now, you put that whip down, boy, or I'm gonna take it away from you.
Now, Nick, Lud put the whip down.
We got lost. We got losted.
Well, now you've got founded. Where were you taking him, Lud?
Speak up, boy.
Chucky?
All right, now you take hold of that horse. We'll try to get that buggy around for you. Come on, boy, move. Move. Now, you children get back over there.
All right.
Okay, Lud, up. Come on, over.
I've tried to be patient with you. When you disobeyed me, I made allowances. But this I cannot overlook. You're not a little child like Chucky. You're almost a man. Supposing that buggy had overturned, supposing the children had been hurt. Now, you've got to promise me that if you decide to run away again, you won't take them with you. And I know if you give me your word, you'll keep it. Oh, Lud. Lud, we used to be such good friends. Why, I felt as close to you as if you were one of my own sons. But something has happened. What is it? You look at me and you pay attention. You look at me. I want you to promise me that... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't you see? I wouldn't get this angry if I didn't care. If anything happened to those children, you'd never forgive yourself.
Did you crack him open?
No, I'm sorry to say I was the one that cracked. I lost my temper.
You know, I think it's time we face something, Mother. Those children can't stay with us indefinitely, even if they wanted to.
But their mother must be someplace. And until we find them, they have to stay here.
See you next week. You know, with all the Carl's jabbering, I plumb forgot them lamp wicks. Be right back. Lud? Lud? Lud?
Heath, I got something to tell you.
Hello, Wiley.
You're gonna be the first one to hear the big news. Me and Jenny, we just got down from the Tuolumne. We're on our way to the assay office with a great big sack full of ore. And this time, Heath, we hit him big, really big. Didn't we, Jenny? Yes, sir. You know, me and Jenny finally struck it rich. Rich, I tell you. Heath, I got gold nuggets in there as big as your head. Yes, sir.
Well, that's just fine, Wiley. Just fine.
Yes, sir. Jenny ain't never gonna have to carry a pack no more. No, sir. You hear that, Jenny? No more packs. And you know what? Tonight, you and me are going to sleep in that livery stable. I don't care how much it costs.
Excuse me, Wiley. I gotta go.
Yeah. He don't believe me, Jenny. Nobody believes me. They all think I'm touched in the head.
All right, move over. We'll drive him home.
Howdy, George. Well, we finally hit it big. A real bonanza. Just you wait till you test out what I got in this year's sack.
Where's it from this time?
Same place I've been prospecting right along. Only this year I went deeper and tapped right into the old mother lode.
Sure, Wiley.
You don't believe me neither. Well, I ain't asking you to take my word for it, George. You see for yourself.
All right, I'm pretty busy. I'll assay it as soon as I can.
No, sirree, not this time. You let them others wait. You do mine right now. I'll come back later for your report. Your eyes are gonna bug out like on a crayfish. You're gonna pinch yourself black and blue to make sure you ain't dreaming. And then you know what? You're gonna go running down the street yelling at everybody, "Oh, Wiley struck it big! Yo!" I'm coming, Jenny girl. Jenny, old girl, we're rich.
Full house. How's that for luck? What have you got there? Now let her play, let her play.
If you buy it from me, you can play her all you like.
Oh? How much?
It's, $15.80.
Give you 4 bids for it.
$15.80.
I'll make it $1.
No.
Yahoo! Yes, sir. After all these years, me and Jenny struck rich. Rich, I tell you. And this time we struck a real bonanza. Say. Oh, shit. Here. Hey, wait a minute. What time is it? It's late. Late. I told George Osborne I'd be back to give that report. How much do you? Here. There you are. Keep the change. Buy everybody a drink. Yeah, I keep telling I'm rich, but won't nobody believe me? Nobody.
Mr. Wiley? Mr. Wiley, I believe you.
You do, boy? Well, that just about makes you the smartest man around town. Because I've got millions just waiting for me to dig it out of the ground. Millions. Say, that tune sure is a toe tickler. It makes a fella want to dance.
If you buy her, you can play her all the time, all you want. All I want is $15.80. That's not a speck of dust out of your poke. Mr. Wiley? Mr. Wiley! Mr. Wiley, please, Mr. Wiley. I'll give you the music box for free, for nothing, if you'll make me a loan of $15.80. I promise to pay you back someday, I promise.
Well, Here. Now, give me that. Hey, boy! Boy, how do you make this thing play? You forgot to show me. Boy! There. Whoa. Oh!
Well, Frank. Jed, come on in. Sorry to trouble you this time of night.
That's all right.
Good evening, Sheriff.
Miss Barkley, this music box belong to you?
Yes, where did you get it?
The Akeley kid's been staying with you?
Yes.
Lud Akeley's in serious trouble.
Well, what did he do, Sheriff? Steal something?
A little more serious than that. That old prospector, Wiley Griffin, we found him lying dead in the street. His head been mashed in with a rock. That music box was lying beside him.
You mean to tell me you think that Lud did that?
Miss Barkley, I do. Not more than an hour ago, he was trying to sell your music box over at the saloon.
Frank, are you sure of that?
I've got 4 witnesses. They even remembered he wanted $15.80 for it.
But that's impossible. Lud is upstairs in bed right now.
Would you please ask Lud to come down?
Well, yes, of course.
Mother, I was just looking in on the children. I came down to tell you. Lud's gone.
Any idea where I might start looking?
No.
Where's his mother?
I'm afraid we don't know that either, Frank.
I'm gonna have to find him. Good night.
Jared, how much did the sheriff say Ludd was asking for that music box?
$15.80.
$15.80. Now, that's strange. Why not 15 or 20?
Yesterday, while I was in the store, Ludd disappeared for a while. Do you know where he was? The railroad depot.
I wonder if that's what it cost to get to where his mother is.
There you are. Thank you, ma'am, and have a nice trip. Yes, sir.
Well, I think you could help me solve a problem if you would.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose a person wanted to go somewhere, and I don't know where, but to get there, it would cost him exactly $15.80.
$15.80?
Well, suppose it was this person was a boy, about 16.
Oh, he's 16.
Now, where could he go on $15.80?
Now, let me see, $15.80 exact. Wait a minute. I do remember a boy coming here and asking how much it would cost to go to Elko, Nevada. Elko. Fair to Elko is $15.80 exact.
Yes? What is it? No rooms. I'm full up.
I'm looking for Mrs. Akeley.
Mrs. who?
Mrs. Akeley. She said she'd be here. She said...
Oh, you mean Muriel. Oh, you'll find her over at the Painted Lady.
Where's that?
The saloon. She works there.
No. You must be thinking of someone else. My ma wouldn't work in no saloon.
Your ma? Did you say your ma?
Yes, Mrs. Akeley. She's a dressmaker. She's from Stockton.
Oh. Well, you might be right at that. This Muriel who lives here, I don't think her last name is Akeley. See, I'm an old woman and I don't remember names too well now.
You mean she isn't here? She said that she'd be here if we needed her.
No, she's not here. I'm sorry.
Lord. Please.
Where you going?
Please. Lord.
Let me go.
Lud! What are you doing here? Did something happen to Chucky? See you? I want to know if Chucky and See are all right. Why did you come here, Lud? Are they with Mrs. Barkley? Is she looking after them? Tell me, Lud.
What do you care?
Don't you talk to me like that. Lud, please. I didn't mean to. Honey.
Hey, kid! You're a little too young for her. Why don't you leave it to an old rooster like me? Come on, Muriel, let's dance.
Please, I'm his mother.
Well, let's send him home.
No! Lud.
You're not my ma.
Honey.
Find your ma?
No, she ain't here.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Made the trip for nothing.
Well, finding her can wait. It's lucky I caught up with you before the sheriff did. Lud, you're in a lot of trouble. The sheriff thinks you killed Wiley Griffin. They found Mother's music box beside Wiley's body. And there were several witnesses who said they saw you trying to sell it. So you must have dropped it. Well, what do you got to say, Lud? Lud, you were there. You must have seen something. Well, we got a little time before we get to Stockton. Now, you can be thinking of what you're going to tell the sheriff. Now, come on.
Do you want us to believe that you did it? Do you want us to believe that you picked up that rock and you killed that helpless old man? That you sneaked up behind him and you bashed his head in until you were sure he'd die?
Defend yourself, Lud.
Now listen to me, boy. If you don't talk, you may hang.
Jared.
All right. I'll be in the sheriff's office.
Lud, I'm your friend. Now, if you won't think of yourself, think of Chucky and Cecilia. Think of how your mother would feel.
My mother?
Yes.
It wouldn't matter one bit to her. She wouldn't stay awake for 1 second.
Oh, Lud, that's not true. That's just not true.
Don't tell me about my mother. I know my mother. She's a saloon girl, a cheap, painted, a saloon girl, that's all.
Lud. Oh, honey. Oh.
You want to be alone?
No, Miss Barkley, please stay. Please don't go. Lud, look at me. I heard about it in Elko. They say you killed a man. That isn't true, is it? I want to know, Lud. Son, if you try to hurt your mother, you can't do a better job than I've done myself already. Oh, Lord, I did what I thought was best. It seemed the only way to leave you with Mrs. Barkley for a while. But you didn't do what I asked you to, Lord. He said he found you and Chucky and Celia still living in the house. Why didn't you do what I asked you to? Why didn't you go to Mrs. Barkley like I... Tell her what I told you. I would have wrote you. Except I can't write. I told him to tell you that I'd be mighty obliged, because I was going away for a little while. If you was to take care of him and my young'uns for a little spell.
Why didn't you take care of us? She ain't our ma.
He doesn't understand why you went away. Perhaps if you explain.
Lord, I had to go. I had to go, honey.
But he doesn't know why. All he knows is that you weren't here when he needed you. I guess I thought when your pa was alive that
He was going to always be there for me to count on. He was a kind of blessing that we took for granted. And then one day he died. And I didn't know which way to turn. It's been 2 years now, and longer since your pa died. And I'm alive. I'm alive. And I need a husband. I need a father for you young'uns, somebody to help me raise you good and proper. But how? How is a body to meet anyone, what with working all day and mending and sewing and children take care of? Besides, I would want a widow with 3 young ones anyhow. That's why I decided to go back to Elko. Your pa was a good man. You didn't know this, but I met your pa working in that saloon in Elko. I thought if I went back there that I might meet somebody like him. But I soon found out that that wasn't no use. Wasn't nobody measured up to Bud. I would have come back right away, but I thought that he'd be better off with you.
You're the one they needed, not me.
Lud, they say you killed a man. That isn't true, is it?
I didn't kill nobody, Ma.
Then why don't you talk?
If you didn't kill him, you have nothing to be afraid of.
Tell us what happened, Lud.
You saw him there? You saw Wiley?
I knew we were in Elko, Ma. And I needed some money to get there. So I stole Mrs. Barkley's music box and I sold it to Wiley. But in the street. And that's the last time I saw him. He was drunk, but he was fine.
And you have no idea who killed him?
No, ma'am. I only know that it wasn't me.
Let's say he saw anybody.
No. We're no better off than we were before. He doesn't have any idea who might have done it either.
The way O'Wiley was flashing that gold dust around, it could have been anybody.
All the same, Ludd could hang for it if the guilty party can't be found.
But you know, Jared, whoever killed Wiley wasn't after that gold. They wanted him dead.
Who'd want to kill that old man anyway? It doesn't make any sense.
You're right.
Heath, you said when you saw Wiley, he was on his way to the assay office.
That's what he said.
Well, now suppose, just suppose, that for once he was right, that he had struck it rich.
Jared? Heath?
George?
What can I do for you?
Wiley Griffin brought some ore in here the other day, didn't he?
That's right. He was in a big hurry. Wanted me to do the test right then and there.
Jared was just saying, wouldn't it be funny if after all these years he really did make a strike?
Make Jenny a mighty rich donkey. Anyway, did you run a test on him?
Well, he said he was coming in later that night, so I hurried up and did the test, but he didn't come.
I guess he was on his way here when it happened.
Yeah. Too bad. He was a nice old man. I guess that kid took his talk serious about his being rich, huh?
Yeah. Well, did you make out a report?
About the assay? I sure did.
You mind if we take a look at it?
Not at all. I have to, keep a report on every assay, no matter what the result. It's, government regulation, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty strict about that. 100% pure rock.
Just like all the other samples that old Wiley brought in. Oh, his hopes were big.
But his luck was so bad. I never charged him. I just went ahead and made the tests and told him the bad news. Funny thing, though, he never believed me. Always claimed that I made a mistake. Well, he always went away peaceable, though, even if I couldn't convince him.
Well, thanks for your trouble, George.
Oh, no trouble at all. Glad to oblige.
We'll see, George. Say, doesn't that sound like Jenny, Wiley's old donkey?
Yeah, sole survivor to a sack full of rocks.
What do you say we buy her and turn her out to pasture?
What do you mean? Establish a foundation for bereaved donkeys?
Well, why not?
Well, I guess that's the least we could do for old Wiley. Let's go. Anybody here? Jeff? Well, Jenny, old girl, looks like you're going to spend your last days in Clover after all. Come on out here. Let's take a look at you. Well, come on, Jenny. Kind of stubborn, isn't she? I wonder how old Wiley got her to move.
Seems to me he always had a handful of sugar. Kept it in these packs here. See if there's any left.
Yeah, let's appeal to her sweet tooth, see if we can make friends. Well,
What do you know? Here's a piece of old Wiley's bonanza.
yeah? What's the matter?
What do you make of that?
A lot heavier than it looks, isn't it?
Looks like tellurium.
It sure does. Look how it's all seeded in here like mustard.
Jared, I think it's gold. Oh, George. Sorry to bother you again. I was just wondering about that ore that Wiley brought in the other day. Did he say where he dug it up?
Not that I recollect.
Well, you know, the night before Wiley was killed, I was talking to him, and he told me he'd been up on the Tuolumne.
Well, that's a long river. Could be almost any place. Why do you ask?
Oh, well, you know how Wiley was always crowing about how he'd struck it rich.
Yeah, well, that was just talk. Nobody believed him.
Oh, I know, but I got some old kind of fool notion that, you know, just suppose that he had tapped into that mother lode. There must be millions of dollars worth of gold up there somewhere. And I thought if I could just locate his diggings, I'd just kind of poke around a little bit.
Well, you'd just be wasting your time.
Well, maybe you're right.
Ah,
I forgot, George. I was just curious about this rock. What would you say that is?
well, it looks like just another piece of rock to me.
Well, wouldn't you say it looked like tellurium?
Lots of rock. Looks like tellurium.
Yeah, but that yellow seated there in that crack, would you say that looked like gold?
Yeah. Fool's gold, maybe.
And we wouldn't really know until you ran a test on it.
If you leave it here, I'll get to it as soon as I can.
Well, I'd kind of like to get it done now. I know you're busy, but I'll be willing to pay extra.
Well, whatever you say.
Good. Say, that sack of ore that Wiley brought in, it should still be around here somewhere.
It's over there on top of that pile. It's got a tag with his name on it.
Well, that must be a mistake. I want the sack of ore that looks like that.
Well, all he brought in was the rock.
No, that's what he brought in. Fell out of his pack. George, I've worked in mines, and I've seen a lot of ore like that. And it should assay out to about 5% pure gold. You killed him, didn't you? And you were going to let blood hang for it. And after a while, you were going to file on Wiley's claim.
Drop it, George.
Wiley brought in a sack full that was practically pure gold.
You must have made the mistake of telling him where the claim was.
Somewhere up on the Tuolumne.
Like George says, that's a long, long river. Could be almost anywhere.
Dang! Dang! Ma! Ma, let's go! Ma!
Blood. Oh. It's good. It's good to be together again. Heath, come in, please. Oh, Heath, I wanted to thank you, Ma. Would you tell her for me that there just aren't words enough?
I'll do that. But the next time you decide to leave town, don't send a message. Deliver it yourself. Might save a lot of trouble.
Might save a lot of trouble.
Well, there's one thing for sure, and you can count on this. I'll never leave my young'uns again. If there's a man for my family, it'll have to be somebody right here in Stockton.
Ma, I'm gonna try and get a job. Help you all I can. I think I can work at the grocery store.
Well, now, that's a job for a boy, not a man. You know, one of our line riders quit this week. I was just thinking maybe you could get Nick for the job.
Well, you think he'd hire me?
Well, could be. If somebody put in a good word.